he went down the first time, his face was shining. And then he says, bring other 2 tablets again. And don't bring anybody, to come and write 10 commandments. That is what even God is trying to say. But read what was happening on the mountain. Just read a little further. I want something to catch your attention there.
4. And he hewn 2 tables of stones like unto the first, and Moses rose up early in the morning and went up unto Mount Sinai as the Lord had commanded him, and took in his hand 2 tables of stones, 5. And the Lord descended in the cloud and stood with him there and proclaimed the name of the Lord. And the Lord passed by before him. And
wait. Many people have read this. I have read 19 different translations. Only 2 of those I've read try to change this. The Bible says, please come up, somebody should come up. Moses came to worship God. Just stand down. And the Bible says, when Moses had ascended the mountain, God descended in the cloud and proclaimed the name of the Lord. The Bible doesn't say Moses proclaimed the name of the Lord. And it is clear because when you read further, Moses spoke at the end. Moses worshipped God at the end. It means, listen to this. Look up. Everybody pay attention to this. It means God came down and said, oh, my Lord, my God. Talking to Moses. It is not a mistake. Some translations have tried to change it. That and Moses said, my Lord and my God. And in the end they say, and Moses worshipped God. Which one now is that? Now, the Lord proclaimed the name of the Lord. Because of the Moses' mindset, Moses' everything, Moses could not comprehend the fact that God was calling him Lord. And listen, and some people say visiting the iniquities of your fathers upon the children. God was describing the lordship of Moses. Hello? See, wait. Who has NIV or another version? Yes. Read from verse 5.
Verse 5.
Yes.
Then the Lord came down in the cloud and stood there with him, proclaiming his name,
Yes.
the Lord. And he passed in front of Moses,
Yes.
proclaiming the Lord.
See,
the Lord.
They made it too clear that if the verse 5 was a mistake, passed in front of Moses, proclaiming the name of the Lord. Now, look at what he was saying. He passed where? In front or behind?
In front.
Good. Proclaiming the name of the Lord.
He passed in front of Moses, proclaiming the Lord, the Lord.
Yes.
The compassionate and gracious God.
Look, please. See, this is Moses. And God was behind. The Bible says God comes in front and says, the Lord. Most compassionate. Continue. Now listen to what God is saying to Moses. It is God speaking to a man.
And he passed
In the old dispensation, yes.
proclaiming the Lord, the compassionate, the gracious God, slow to anger.
Wait. The gracious God. Listen carefully and look at this. Every description here is describing Moses.
Abounding in love and faithfulness.
Slow to anger. Abiding in love and faithfulness.
Yes.
Continue.
Maintaining love to thousands.
Maintaining love to thousands. He was leading thousands away.
And forgiving the wickedness, rebellions, and sin. Yet he does not leave the iniquity unpunished.
Yes.
He punishes the children and their children for the sin of the parents to the third and the fourth generation.
Please, somebody look up. You can leave it there. That is Moses. God came and worshipped him, say, my Lord or my God. You know that kind of, you have a friend, you want to hear your friends, the big mama, I know you, the mama that sprays dollars everywhere. Who knows that kind of talk? That is how God was talking to Moses. He called him God without that G. What am I talking about? Where am I bringing you to? I'm trying to bring you to a place called intimacy. In intimacy, we are age mates, we are classmates, we are friend mates. There is no difference. We are just one. I said this one time and people looked at me in the month of communion. I said I was worshiping God. And I kept using the word worship. I said, God, I want to worship you. God, I want to worship you. And he said to me, a strange thing. He said, I want to worship you too. I said, no, this is blasphemy. And then I knelt down to worship God. I felt in my spirit like I could see God lying down. And I was like, maybe I'm too spiritual. I'm not seeing things well. How can God be lying down for me? Then I ignored the vision and I stood up and I started worshiping God, singing. Then I saw like someone was kneeling and holding my legs in front of me. Said, I am the Lord. I was like, the Lord. God is kneeling in front of me. He said to me, in the place of communion, we are one. What I enjoy you doing to me, I enjoy doing it to you. I want us to be one. Now, what happens in the place of communion? There is no secret in the place of communion. You can tell God anything. Anything. Brother came up. Before the marriage, she used to visit, true or false? Don't lie, in church. And you will stay together for how long? Maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, 4. In intimacy now, let us skip to verse 39. Just skip to verse 39. Wait. Hear this, it's interesting. Do you know that in everything, continue how God was telling Moses, you are the Lord and everything, and then Moses started telling God's own too. If you read further, Moses said the ones he said to God, and God gave him some instructions about the people. Not the 10 commandments. There is no place in that place where God says, write this again. There's no 10 commandments there again. It means the only conversation about 10 commandments God ever had with Moses was that first one. This second one, it's not mentioned there really. And then they just skip someone and say, and then they took the 10 commandments. He went to write 10 commandments, and I don't know how that conversation took them 40 days. In the place of intimacy, time does not count. You feel like you belong here. And wait, can I say something? See, look up, everybody. Look up. In intimacy, you get to that level of intimacy where you live there forever. Nobody cut that. You don't travel to intimacy and come back. You get to a place where you live there. You live in that ecstatic presence of the Father within you all the time. I'll show you some things in the Bible today. Wait, wait in verse 39.
Chapter 1.
Verse 39. Yes, Exodus 29. Exodus 34, 29. Who is there?
Yeah.
Yes.
When Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of the testimony in his hands, he was not aware that his face was radiant.
Look up. The Bible says Moses spent time with God. Moses spent time with God. I want to disturb what I have. Moses spent so much time with God that when he came down from the mountain, there were attributes of God on him. Listen, look carefully. Do you know who noticed that his face was shining? It was not Moses. It means Moses had become God.
Yes.
Without noticing that he was God. All born out of intimacy. He began talking things. God identified him as God since. God started saying, Lord God. Moses did not understand this kind of language. God called him God. God called him Lord. And it was true in communion. The two come together and become one. In intimacy, you can say, thus says the Lord. Without asking, thus is that you that said, because you know him, he knows you, he lives in you, you live in him, you are so one that you can speak on his behalf. The Bible says Moses' face was shining, and in fact, these people that were with Moses said, the Bible says when Moses went to talk with them, Moses would put a veil, a thick cloth, to cover the shining presence of the Father. It means in every sense, these people were prohibited from experiencing first-hand fellowship with the Spirit. Hello? I'm shifting to somewhere. In the book of Mark, chapter 4. Is it Mark? Hello? I was sharing with my wife, I was telling her that Mark chapter 9 verse 1 was supposed to be chapter 9 alone. Then chapter 10 was supposed to start from verse 2. Because chapter 9 verse 1 is an isolated statement that does not link to the previous verse or the verse after. It says, most certainly I tell you, there are some standing here who will not taste death until they see God's kingdom come with power. We cannot talk about that now. But I want to go to a place. It's the transfiguration. Can someone read from verse 2? I want to first read that from verse 2.
After 6 days.
Take the mic. After 6 days.
After 6 days, Jesus took Peter, James, and John with him and led them up a high mountain where they were all alone.
Yes.
There he was transfigured before them.
Yes.
His clothes became dazzling white, whiter than anyone in the world could bleach them. And there appeared before them Elijah and Moses, who were talking with Jesus.
Yes.
Peter said to Jesus, Rabbi, it is good for us to be here. Let us put up 3 shelters, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah.
Tabernacle. Yes.
And one for Elijah. He did not know what to say. They were so frightened. Then a cloud appeared and enveloped them.
Wait, keep it there. The Bible explains something. Please look up, everybody. Look up. Somebody say intimacy. Say intimacy. No, say it aloud. Say intimacy.
Intimacy.
Listen. The body and the garments of Jesus started shining before Moses and Elijah appeared. The people that noticed it were the disciples that were with him. And they did not notice their own shining. As a matter of fact, they were not shining. But he that had intimacy, Jesus had 2 legs, 2 hands, normal, like a man. One day he stood up and said, my Father and I are one. He was so, and he would speak on many occasions, say, I only do what I see my Father do. It means he was so one because that's continuous present tense. It means if my Father is walking, I'm walking. If my Father is sleeping, I'm sleeping. What I'm doing is what my Father is doing. In other words, my Father can only do anything if I'm doing it. Listen, the Bible says Moses was there, Elijah was there, Jesus was shining, and these disciples came to do what the church of today has tried to do and has succeeded with many people. They said, Jesus, you are a great person in this land. Moses, we have been looking for you. Elijah, many people have been hoping you will come back now. Let us build here now 3 tabernacles. Somebody say tabernacle. Say temple. Now we want to continue in the 4 walls of a temple. I don't know how these people even reason. How can you want to lock up someone that appeared to be dead? How could that house keep them? Now they said, we want to build 3 houses, one for you, one for this Jesus. Well, we don't trust him. He's behaving as if he wants to die and he's saying he will go very soon. So one for you, one for Moses, one for Elijah. Nobody's going anywhere. And Jesus was like, I have come to destroy temples and you want to build another one. He didn't come for you to build the name of your church, whether Seven Thunders Church, Presbyterian Church, Catholic Church. He did not come for you to have another building and block to stay together. He came to break you out of all of that into the whole wide world. But remember, the glory was shining in him. We're taking a short journey. Let's advance to the book of Mark. Acts. Go to the book of Acts chapter 6. Acts chapter 6. Acts chapter 6. Acts chapter 6. Read from verse 10. Acts chapter 6.
Acts 6:10.
Yes.
But they could not stand up against his wisdom or the spirit by whom he spoke.
Wait, go up. I want to know the caliber of men that were chosen. Verse 6 or something?
Yes.
Just start from verse 1. Quickly. Follow keenly.
In those days when the number of disciples was increasing, the Grecian Jews among them complained against the Hebraic Jews because their widows were being overlooked in the daily distribution of food. So the 12 gathered all the disciples together and said, It will not be right for us to neglect the ministry of the word of God in order to wait on tables. Brothers, choose 7 men from among you who are known to be full of the Spirit and wisdom.
Who are known to be what?
To be full of the Spirit and wisdom.
To be full. Somebody say full of the Spirit.
Full of the Spirit
and wisdom.
and wisdom.
Full of the Spirit
Full of the Spirit
and wisdom.
and wisdom.
See, intimacy. Listen, look up. Look up. This is very important. Many of us, please, everybody look up. Many of us know church. Many of us know rituals. We know religion. But we do not know the Spirit. I'm not talking about your dedication or dedicated service to an organization, to an institution, or to a group or a church. I'm talking about intimacy with the Holy Spirit. Listen carefully. They had to choose someone to distribute food. But they said, let's choose someone filled with the Holy Spirit to distribute food. Hello? Because you can speak in tongues, you just say, I have a rema. I want to share. See, to play only piano here, you'll be in the spirit though. You will know the spirit. To qualify to just come and arrange the place. See that brothers. Okay, read on.
We will turn his responsibility over to them. And we will give our attention to prayer and the ministry of the word.
Yes.
This proposal pleased the whole group.
Yes.
They chose Stephen, a man full of faith and of the Holy Spirit.
They said choose 7 people. See, here the way they describe Stephen privately, especially before continuing people. A man full of what?
Faith and of the Holy Spirit.
Faith and of the Holy Spirit to go and share food. I want to talk this one to the people who are in the body of Christ feel like, no, you know, some of us that cannot do certain things, we cannot pack chairs. We are too.
Don't need Jesus.
Someone was filled with the Holy Spirit and qualified to share food. In humility, I'm sure he accepted. See, listen to this. When you are intimate in the spirit with the Father, pride dies. You are just spiritual. You don't look to know whether it is wrong or right. It is just spiritual. You are just one with him. What he can do is what you can do. What he does is what you do. Stephen went to distribute food. Can you just read further? Let me show you how God can glorify you in your humility.
They chose Stephen, a man full of faith and of the Holy Spirit. Also Philip, Prochorus, Nicanor, Timon, Parmenas, and Nicholas from Antioch, a convert to Judaism.
Yes.
They presented these men to the apostles, who prayed and laid their hands on them. So the word of God spread. The number of disciples in Jerusalem increased rapidly, and a large number of priests became obedient to the faith. Now Stephen, a man full of God's grace and power, did great wonders and miraculous signs among the people.
Wait, the Bible says now, Stephen, that man full of faith and of the Holy Spirit, who was supposed to be serving food on the tables, distributing food, began doing miraculous things. He did not say, okay, I will not distribute this food, I will go to do miraculous things. He was just sharing food. Somehow he gave food to people who were sick. And his own food, he healed them. He gave bread to some people who were just two of them, and one bread fed all of them, and then there was half. Things began happening. See, when you are intimate with God in the spirit, look up. When you are intimate with God in the spirit, it doesn't matter what you do. You could be a driver, you could be a truck pusher, you could be selling in the market, you could be a preacher, you could be anything, but wherever you are, signs and wonders, according to the capacity of the Father, produce themselves. You don't need a pulpit. You don't need something about yourself to try to distinguish yourself. God himself distinguishes himself in you. Spiritual intimacy. Look up and hear this. Nobody in the entire Bible ever met God through a set of rituals. From Genesis to Revelation, read it. So number one, I will now plan to wash my hands, sing praise and worship first, then give offerings, and then the next thing, then God will appear. No, Moses is just strolling in the wilderness. Fire of God. Immediately. Joseph did not even want it, just had dreams, and then God there's just no protocol. All this protocol today, before you see the man of God feed a form, stand on a straight line. You don't stand like that. That is beside the altar. Shift this way. No, go and change and wear coat. See, all protocol can only make you see a man. If you want to meet God, it is the Spirit. John chapter 3 verse 8. He that is in the Spirit is like the wind. You don't know where it is coming from. You don't know where it is going. You can just jump on Sunday morning. That is why in the real spirituality, there is no order of things. The fact that someone uses an anointing water somewhere doesn't make it an order. It doesn't have to become religious. Because in the realm of the Spirit, everything is right at every instant. God is not limited to a set of rules. Whether you worship him or not, whether you pay tithe or not, there is no order. He is your Father, and you are part of him, whether you know it or not. There's no argument for that. You are part of God. You are in God. God is in you. There is no other truth. Find out. Prove it to yourself. Wait. read verse maybe 14, 15.
For we have heard him say that this Jesus of Nazareth.
Now they were trying to kill Stephen. I want you to see another thing. Born out of intimacy. Yes?
For we have heard him say that this Jesus of Nazareth would destroy this place and change the customs Moses handed down to us. All who were sitting in the Sanhedrin looked intently at Stephen, and they saw that his face was like the face of an angel.
Listen, look up. This is the third case. I'm counting. They looked at Stephen and saw that his face, man of God, who showed these people angel before? No, who showed them angel before? It's not as if angels used to come and dwell with them. But they said, they looked at his face. His face was like that of an angel. And Stephen did not know. See. Wait. Let me challenge some of you. If you have never gotten to that point where they speak some miraculous things about you and you're not aware, then you're not the intimate yet. A little child said, they went to the farm and left me at home. I was sick. My brother Nelson came and greeted me. He told me I will not be sick again. Then the child was not even talking to me. She was talking to another child. There was noise, but since she called my name, I tried to listen. That was about 2003. And I was like, that was one of those first things. So, and I just touched, and then Brother Nelson just touched me, and then the fever just left me, and I'm fine now. I was like, hey, this is lying in the holy place because I'm not aware. And I actually told the child to finish, but I was just me. I didn't know in intimacy God had taken over. And then the parents came the next day and said, what did you do? The child just got strong. All the fever just left her. I was like, okay, fever left. I was still learning. But it is normal. In intimacy. And the Bible is saying something here now. And they looked at Stephen. If you listen to this story further, you'll be even shocked. They even stoned him to death. Listen to this. In intimacy, people begin seeing you otherwise. People look at you like, why are you always different like that? Why your heart soft so? You'll be like, really? I don't know. I'm so at day. Somebody said I'm so at day. Say I'm a nature. That is who you are. And then the Bible says they looked at him and saw him. His face was like an angel. Yet they killed him. Face of an angel on a stoner. And this is the best part of it. I want to talk to somebody now. The best part of it is that in the midst of all the noise, they said, kill him. And they took stones and started shooting at this man. Let me tell you something. When they are shooting stones at you to kill you, they're not shooting your leg. They're trying to shoot your head, your heart, where they will kill you fast. And they were stoning this man. They removed his dresses. People who were stoning took dresses and put at the feet of Paul. Saw them, and as they were shooting him, the man was still filled with the spirit to the extent that he said, I see heaven open. Wait, I mean, they were not shooting his face, they were shooting everywhere now. They should have been shooting his face, but he still saw. In intimacy, you don't need the physical eyes to see. The eyes of the spirit see beyond the flesh. The eyes of the spirit see beyond your difficulties. The eyes of the spirit do not listen to the noise around you, to the words of discouragement around you, to what the community is saying, to the news on the TV, to what the social media is saying, to what people have concluded about you. The eyes of the spirit do not get limited by the world. They see beyond everything, and they see. When you are intimate with the Spirit, even in the midst of a killing noise, the Bible says Jesus, when the apostles were shouting, we don't die, we don't finish, Jesus, of all things, was sleeping. You get to a place of spiritual intimacy where everything becomes certain according to your desire. You speak to everything, it becomes the way you want it. This is because, listen, Jesus was a man that got intimate. Thank God nobody there. I don't want to go to. Let's go to the book of 2 Corinthians and understand the mystery now. From verse 7 to 9, 2 Corinthians chapter 3. 2 Corinthians chapter 3. It brings it all clear now. From verse 7 to 9.
To read verse 7 to 9.
Yes.
Now, if the ministry that brought death, which was engraved in letters on stone, came with glory, so that the Israelites could not look steadily at the face of Moses because of its glory, fading though it was, will not the ministry of the Spirit be even more glorious? If the ministry that condemns men is glorious, how much more glorious is the ministry that brings righteousness?
Please, look up. Moses brought law. The Bible, Paul calls it the ministry of condemnation, the ministry of death. You see, is it not clear to you that God was describing Moses? Say, Moses, you are God, but your own kind of God, and you visit the iniquity of the fathers unto the children, even to the 10th generation. God, you mean God. And then he says, the ministration of death means all the laws and everything Moses did was to them, unto them. But now we don't come to God with veiled faces. If that which was unto death brought that glory. Let me show you where this is coming from. Open to the book of 2 Corinthians. Wait. 1 Corinthians, close, please, close. Verse 18. 2 Corinthians chapter 3, read verse 18. And tell me where church fits.
And we, who with unveiled faces, all reflect the Lord's glory, are being transformed into his likeness with ever increasing glory, which comes from the Lord who is the Spirit.
Listen. Okay, somebody open to James chapter 1. Verse 23. I want to join these two and say something. James chapter 1, read verse 23.
Anyone who listens to the word but does not do what it says is like a man who looks at his face in a mirror.
In any day, wait, read that one.
But if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass.
Wait. Please look up. I want you to join these two and make some sense out of it. First, 2 Corinthians chapter 18, chapter 3:18 says that, but we, all with open face, beholding in a glass the glory of the Lord, are changed into the same image from glory to glory, even by the Spirit of the Lord. Listen. It is by the Spirit. Look up. He says this. And God, with unveiled faces, we are changed into the same image from glory to glory by the Spirit. In other words, if you are close to God in communion, you have fellowship with God. You talk to him, he talks to you. You know him, he knows you. You are transformed into God. Hello? It is by this reasoning that even Moses talking to God was like his face on the mirror, in the mirror. God transformed with the face of God. In like manner, Stephen looking in the mirror, which is God, with God in intimacy, God transformed into God. And that was in a dispensation. In like manner, Jesus talking with God didn't transform his face, he transformed his body. Now, and brought us to a place where one-on-one with God in intimacy by the help of the Holy Spirit. You only come out of intimacy as God, not a kind of follower of God or churchgoer, but exactly as God. It is the will of God that you should be God. Now, James For if any man be a hearer of the word, and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass or in a mirror. It means that if you can hear this word of God and not do it, let me put it that way, you have not had fellowship. Listen to me. It means you can't do it. It means that you only succeeded to have fellowship, intimacy with your church. Hello? You just succeeded to have intimacy with your prophet, with your papa. If you have intimacy with the Spirit, let me explain something spiritual to you as a round up. This is very important. Sister Goddard, are you getting me? Spirituality let me break it in maybe simpler terms. Sin and righteousness, right? Sin was never what you do, nor what you don't do. Sin was just supposed to be everyone during the time they were living. So, whether you gave all your money to the poor, whether you never killed anybody, it was written of them that all have sinned. Whether you were born as a child or whatever, it was written that you sinned somehow. So, it was not what they did that made them sinners. They were just sinners. Okay, and in like manner, righteousness, this is written that righteousness was not what a man did. It was just natural that they were righteous because of what Jesus did. Someone asked me a question. You know, some of these philosophers have some very tricky questions. He asked me and said, "You have a wife, man of God?" I said, "Yes." He said, "If someone impregnates your wife, is that not adultery?" I said, "Yes, it's adultery." He said to me that the Holy Spirit impregnated Joseph's wife. Is that not adultery?
Adultery from the holy place.
Well, they were not really married. That would have been a short answer. But they were engaged. However, suppose they were married. It could really be adultery. Father, help me.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to just talk to a few people that are in the spirit now. It could really be adultery. The problem is, adultery is right.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, he did not do what people call right. Anything he did is defined from him that henceforth it is a right to heal someone on a Sunday and tell him to carry his mat and go away. It is right to pluck ears of corn and eat on a Sunday, and it is normal because he is the Lord of the Sabbath. He is the Lord of all times. Listen to this. I want to draw this conclusion. The book of Galatians chapter 5, reading from verse 16, talks about the fruits of the flesh and the fruits of the spirit. You notice that a spiritual man doesn't live by rules, but by the Spirit. However, 95% of the things a spiritual man does by the Spirit seem right to people. Nevertheless, there could be one line of objection from everybody that is spiritually correct. So, you cannot live by laws as a spiritual man, but by the Spirit. Unfortunately, listen, I can decide by love, by the Spirit, to give. Love is one of the fruits of the Spirit. Patience, long suffering, all of those things. Now, those are the fruits of the Spirit. If I live by the Spirit, I just see someone not eating. I say, "You're not eating how many days?" And I give you. One child came home the other day. Dad sent me away for school fees. Come. I said, "What? How can they send me for school fees?" I sent my daughter, I said, "Go and pay the school fees." And I'm doing it. Why? It's just my nature. I hate people not going to school because of money that I have. Just tell me, you can't go to school and the school fees is $5 billion. I'll be like, yeah, my God help you. Not 2.5. No, not 2.5. If you are going, it's my own weakness. You are going to school, there's no money, and I have it. I won't sleep until I give it to you. So I took that child, sent my daughter, went and paid the school fees. Guess how much? 1,000. But now, listen to what someone can do. This is why church and religion, look up now, I'm concluding. Church and religion have taught us. Church looks at the life of a spiritual man and then tells people to copy the life of a spiritually oriented life cannot be copied.
Thank you.
I can give out of love in the spirit, and you can give exactly the same, even more than me, out of hatred in the flesh. You notice people who have practiced, who try to follow spiritual men, they be like, I don't forgive you, I don't forgive you. Let me say, I don't forgive you. I don't forgive you. But you and I know there was never forgiveness. True or false? And so people will be like, I carry 500,000, I give. You and I know there was no giving. True or false? But in the spirit, no one tells us what to do. But the church of today has succeeded to put rules on how to define a spiritual man, which is wrong. It is the same thing Nicodemus did not understand more than 2,000 years ago when he was having a conversation with Jesus, and Jesus said, until you are born of the Spirit. He said, but how is that possible? He said, no, someone born of the Spirit is like the wind. You can't study him. You can't know his timetable. He can see one widow today and give money to the widow, see another widow tomorrow, seize money from the widow. All the two things he did are correct. So listen to me. Right and wrong is the doctrine for kindergarten. The spirit is the place where we dwell. Jesus said to a woman, you worship what you don't know. For God is a spirit. You must worship him in spirit and in truth. In spirit, only the spiritual is accepted. Paul, this is the last point. Paul got to a place of intimacy. Let me ask you, is it right or wrong to go to the third heavens? Does it even make sense? Does it even fit in this context? In the realm of the spirit, once you have gotten spiritually intimate enough, Joshua looked at son and said, son, stop. Without asking anybody's opinion. You get to a place of spiritual intimacy where you feel and know you are God. You speak on his behalf. When Joshua spoke to the son to stop, the son didn't hear Joshua's voice. Joshua sounded exactly. As a matter of fact, the son heard God and said, God, and saw Joshua say, how did that man speak like that? In spiritual intimacy, Paul said, I don't know whether I was in the flesh, but or whether I was in the spirit, but I know. Paul was both in the flesh and in the spirit. It is possible. And then he said, I was taken to the third heavens and heard things. Wait, listen, look up. Now, see right and wrong. When Paul went to the third heaven, he said he heard some things humans are not supposed to hear. What made it wrong? Because today I'm questioning Paul, like seriously. I mean, I don't know what that could have done to me. Paul, you go hear something, keep on, who won? It's not fair. My opinion. Hallelujah. But in spiritual intimacy, it is just the spiritual. Who knows? Did Moses ask the people's opinion? If my face is shining, is it wrong or right? No. But it's just shining. So henceforth, live with it. The fruits of the spirit from the place of intimacy. I'm not talking about this kind of prayer. I go to church every day. I'll come back every Tuesday. If they call me again, I may just go. Someone please remind me on Tuesday. No, I'm talking about people who hunger. Who hunger for the word. Who feel like who around here has something to share. I feel like singing. See, brother, those for the world. Who just feels like doing something. I remember Some of us were here on the mountain. I saw the man of God shared something on his. He was standing on the mountain, lifting up his hands in the spirit. You were there. Many of us were there on that mountain, just feeling like, Father. That it doesn't make sense. And then there is rain. You just feel like, but I want to be here. I just want to be here. And many people will be like, but you're far away. It's the same kind of intimacy that made Jesus. The Bible says Jesus will leave the disciples, walk up to the mountain in the night and sleep there and come in the morning. What is he doing there? He has found a place. Listen to me. Intimacy is that ecstatic presence with the Father, that ecstatic moment with the Father where he's no longer the Father. Jesus got to that point with his disciples. He said, I'm no longer your master, you are my friends. It means kababa sola. Peter was still arguing, Master, no, let me wash your feet. Let me get to the place where you know that I am also servant, because I find pleasure in doing so. Listen to me. Hey, hello, look up. Never see God above in the sky. It's an error. Look at God with you. The safest place God found to dwell is within man. Paul said, don't you know your body is the temple of the Lord? If within your body is a spirit and your body is the temple, it means within your spirit there is the spirit.
No.
I know some of you have questions about your life, about your career, about your family. And I know you have gone to churches, you have met prophets and apostles and all of that. Listen to me. The answer is in intimacy. The answer is where? I'm talking tonight to few people here, trust me. Few people who will take up the stage, make a decision to get intimate with the Father, not with the church. To be so intimate that people will say, when I saw that man, I knew God was with me. Enough is enough. Man of God, pray for me. Man of God, pray for me. Man of which God? Why can't I just have access to the very God? Why pass through a man? God doesn't want any link, anything between you and him. It's a matter of, God is not out of you. God is within. Paul said so. That he is not really far. Can we just stand to our feet? Can we just stand to our feet? Listen to this. This is not a message to convince someone to go to a church or to. This is not a message to convince someone, but it's a message to provoke someone's spirit to make a decision today to know this God they have been talking about. You can make a decision tonight. You say, I want to get intimate. See, lock your room. Fast. Start making noise from morning. Sleep and wake up in him. Just keep talking to him. Just keep asking him questions. Do you know what Jesus was doing in the wilderness for 40 days? The Bible says the Spirit came upon him. Once you are in contact with the Spirit, you are in contact with boundless edges of wisdom. Ask every question, desire everything, and it is all yours. It is in the spirit that we are completely transformed into God. Who is this Holy Spirit? If you get close to him, you will not see anointing water. You will not see anointing bangle. All this bondage that they have wrapped us in, you won't see. You will only see yourself. Do you know that when you look at God, you become him? Do you know that God also becomes you when he looks at you? If God looks at me and then transforms into me, I'm beginning to ask myself, who am I that God will choose me? Who am I that God should be becoming me? It means that there is something about me that was never really revealed to me. There is something about me that I want to find out more about. In intimacy, everything is revealed to you. This is beyond church, men and brethren. It's about the relationship between you and your real creator. You are a spirit, born of a spirit, and the spirit is the Father. Find out your identity. Go have a family meeting with him. Talk to him. Say, who am I? Where did I come from? How long have I been around here? Have communion with the spirit. I want someone to bust out into spirit. I want someone to bust out. Start asking some questions. Start asking some questions. With a solution to the entire people of Israel. One man's intimacy saved a nation. Jesus came out from the place of intimacy with a solution for all of creation. Get into intimacy, somebody. Your family is too small, your story is too small. Get into intimacy and bring the solution for your nation.
As the deep ends for the waters, so my soul longs after you.
I want someone to forget your neighbor. Forget the person beside you. Can someone get intimate with the Father right now? Just get intimate. He's available. He's able to hear you and hear me. He's never to leave. Abba, Father, forget your neighbor, just get intimate. Just get intimate. Just get intimate. Connect to the spirit. Connect to the spirit. For deep cries out to deep. If you are in the spirit, hear the spirit. If you are in the spirit, hear the spirit. As you come out from here, not only your face will be shining. Am I talking to somebody? As you come out from this intimacy, not only your face will be shining, your hands will be shining, your legs will be shining, your entire body will be shining. It will be shining above your family. It will be shining above your body. It will be shining above your wall, your marriage, all the small challenges. Your intimacy production will be a solution to your nations.
So my soul longs after you. Says the cries out for thee.
visa mostro lumene, ma sana tia le nostre. Para do sono praia, ma sana la tuno para placa si da kotoba. Na si ya la moto, ma ia la suba ia le. Na konda si ma honda po. Para la la suya mahara. Na si ba si mo. Isa la ia la cara. Ma honda le para la poco suba. Gracias.